My name is Manuela and I am the Girl Gone Green. I'm here to spread sustainability and conscious living. I asked you to leave me some questions on Instagram, so you guys did, so today I'm going to try to answer as many as I can. The Funny Bunny 1246 asked, how does it feel being zero waste? It can feel really stressful and it can feel really rewarding. So it's kind of a mixture between the two. Sometimes you get really disappointed because you can't be zero waste, and then sometimes you feel really great because you know all your actions are having this massive impact. So it's a really cool combination because it teaches you how to overcome, stress and not feeling like you're good enough, and it also teaches you how to be a better person and how to inspire others. Zerowasted.mn asked, what do you do with all your produce stickers? So in my previous apartment, I did a really good job of keeping all my stickers on this little sheet of paper, and I had all the intention to mail this to an artist that creates pieces with these stickers. However, in my move, I'm pretty sure it just got thrown away. And then ever since then, I don't hold on to any trash. So I don't have a trash jar. I don't hold on to things except rubber bands, because I think they are really useful. But I don't hold on to trash, so I simply throw them away. I have a roommate who does produce some trash, so I'll put them in her trash, or I'll just put them in my building's trash. But I don't hold on to them anymore, but I will try to link some resources where you can mail them to different artists. David Zelli asks, quick question for you Q&A. How would you suggest to compost if you live in a very urban area / apartment? Is there a way to make it not smell? Thanks. So to answer your question, I used to live in a studio apartment and I used to vermicompost. I had a worm bin in my apartment. I had it in a closet and it was actually working out really well, but I was having this fruit fly problem where I was just swarmed with all these fruit flies. So I was getting really annoyed. So I moved my compost bin from this closet inside my apartment to my balcony. The worms didn't really like the climate change because it was Florida winter, so it can get really, really cold and then really, really hot all of a sudden. And they didn't like it and they started to escape, which means they die. And I just had a really horrible experience transitioning them. And ever since then, I kind of don't really want to compost indoors with worms just because I don't think it's very vegan. However, that being said, worm composting is pretty scentless. It doesn't have a lot of odors. I did have a problem with flies, but I think if you were to freeze all your food beforehand, you might not have that problem. But it didn't smell. If you have a good enough box and you do it right, so it's you kind of learn the science and the ratios. That's what I'm trying to say. But overall, I mean, that's a great solution. You can always find a friend or something with a yard. That's what I'm currently doing. So I freeze all my compost and then I give it to a friend who has a yard and we've built a compost in their yard, or I do the same thing with my parents and I'll leave it at their house. So those are kind of your options. A lot of urban places might have composting that you can drop off your food scraps are. I know a lot of community-supported agricultures will accept food scraps into their compost. So maybe look around and see someone in your community might have a compost and see if that works out. But like I said, I tried vermicomposting. It actually went pretty well until I had a little disaster, and ever since then I just kind of don't really want to do it again. Foodie Going Green asked, what is your favorite part about being a zero waste minimalist? Oh, that's a great question. So I love how well they mesh together, how well the two complement each other. So I love being able to say I'm a minimalist. I don't need to have 1,000 jars. I don't need to have 1,000 utensils and the beeswax and this. I don't have all the zero waste gear. I didn't go out and buy, new stainless steel stuff, and everything I've accumulated, most of them have been through gifts that other people give me, or I've found thrifted, but I haven't really accumulated a ton of stuff. So it's really nice to not really need a lot. I guess I never really answered the question, what's my favorite part? My favorite part is actually being able to meet like-minded people and people in the community and people online that also feel the same way. I think it's just amazing to be able to unite over a common issue. So I think it's really interesting, and I definitely want to go to more major cities and do some meetups. So if you guys are interested, possibly a Los Angeles and San Francisco meetup as well as New York. So if you live in any of those cities, let me know. I love to communicate and maybe be able to set something up. Okay, so the Eco Aesthetic asked me a bunch of questions about myself. So I think it's kind of interesting if you guys want to know. So how old are you? I am 21. What do you do for a living? I am a full-time student as well as do other freelance work. What is your makeup routine, skincare routine, and hair care items? So I just did a skincare routine video, and I'm gonna link it down below because I had a few questions on that. So I just did a video on that, as well as my tips for how to cure acne. And then as for makeup, I'm gonna do a makeup routine soon, but really I just use a Jane Iredale Pure Pressed foundation and like some makeup, some mascara I bought off Etsy, and then I do my eyebrows, and that's it. I don't do anything else, you guys. And then what are your hair care items? I use a Lush shampoo bar, and then I use the oil that I mentioned in my skincare video, but on my hair. And then would you ever consider doing a capsule wardrobe? I would totally be excited to film a capsule wardrobe once I kind of have a wardrobe that I'm happy with, but I can always show you guys the wardrobe I have right now. I'm okay with that too. I totally skipped a question. So Bo Rami asked, what brand of coconut oil do you use? I'm not really brand loyal to coconut oil. I make sure that it's organic and I believe unrefined, or is it pressed? I'm not sure. Reusable Ziploc bags, do you use any, and which brands are your favorite to use? I don't use plastic bags or reusable Ziploc bags. I have this big plastic container that I had as a kid, and I use that to freeze all my bananas in, and everything else I freeze in mason jars. I just make sure the jar is not full. I make sure to freeze it before I put the lid on it, just so that it doesn't crack, but I just freeze everything in mason jars, but I do not use bags. And then the last question was about makeup, which I've kind of already answered, and I'm gonna make a video on it pretty soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any video requests, leave them down below. I'm doing my best to do some of the most requested videos, but sometimes those are the videos that take a little bit more time. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll be happy to answer them in the description. For now, don't forget to live sustainably and consciously, and I will see you in my next video.